Hey y'all, it's Monday morning, October 6th, and we welcome you to another edition of This Week at AMG. Thank you for joining us once again. It's really a blessing for us to be able to tell you some of the wonderful things that are taking place around the world through AMG. God is truly working, and we are seeing a lot of fruit as we serve Him together around the world. Today, we are blessed to have with us Ron Ham. Ron and his wife Denise have served with AMG as missionaries for more than 35 years. They have served in many places, including Haiti and Jamaica, and for the past few years they have served in Thailand. And Ron is going to share with us some of the exciting things that are happening there. He's going to tell us about how AMG's Child and Youth Development Ministry is impacting the country of Thailand, how it is impacting individual lives to make a difference. So let's hear from Ron how God is working through their ministry, and particularly more recently in Thailand.
Well, thank you, Tassos. My wife and I have worked in Thailand now the last 15 years, but interestingly, this month is 35 years that we first went out with AMG International. And our first field of service was in Haiti in the West Indies, where we worked for 12 years. My parents had been there when I was a child, so it was kind of natural to go there, even though we had considered many different places, because I already knew the Creole language, and we thank God for the opportunity that we had to work there. One of our main ministries has been helping to develop national leadership in the different countries where we've worked. First, we were in Haiti. Then we were called to the Bahamas, where we worked with Haitian refugees in a Haitian church. Then we were involved in a Bahamian church. After that, after 4.5 years, we were asked to go on loan, and we were graciously loaned by AMG to another mission to help with church planting efforts in Guyana, South America. And in the last 15 years, we've been serving in Thailand. Thailand is a country of about 67 million people. It's a Buddhist nation. And as far as Christianity is concerned, only about 0.5% would claim to be Christian of any persuasion. So we went there in 1999. And we had the opportunity to work in several different areas. Of course, first of all, was working on the Thai language. It's a tonal language. It's got, between the consonants and the vowels, about 80-some characters and 5 different tones, so it's a challenging language. We worked along with a Thai church and helping to train nationals in that Thai church. Our Thai pastor had a burden to train nationals to do the work in the country, and so he had a Bible school there. We also helped out in camping ministry, basically as speakers, and my wife also helped teach English in one camp. We had opportunities, too, to go into a prison in non-Thailand, and it was a great place to work. I think it ended up being one of my favorite places of ministry, because people in prison generally know that they're a lawbreaker. They know they're a sinner, and that they can't get it all together on their own. And so these guys, paying for their crimes by doing time in prison, were open to hear the gospel. And so it was exciting to see several men come to the gospel in prison. One thing I had mentioned while we were in Thailand was our child development centers, or dorms. Sometimes they go by hostels, but where we keep children for most of the year. Sometimes they're orphans, sometimes they're partially orphans, sometimes they're from very, very poor families that really can't afford to keep them there and to educate them. And I just wanted to highlight one of the fellows that was in one of our dorms. His name was Turt Poom. Turt Poom came to the AMG Center when he was young. He came from a very poor family up in a village up in the mountains, and he was very, very shy. And we came back to the U.S. on a home leave just for I think it was a year or something like that. And we went back, and he was not as shy anymore, and he was taking roles as he was getting older. And I remember at one of our camps, he was attempting to help the young people who came to the camp understand the gospel, and he stripped down to just what he thought Jesus had on the cross, and they actually had a cross built, and he was tied to the cross. We didn't put nails through his hands or anything like that, but he used that as an illustration to present the gospel to the children. After he graduated from high school, he decided to go to Bible college, and so he's just finished up now at Bible college in Thailand, and he's eager to go into ministry. Here's the story of a young kid, poor family, very shy, and then a total change and a boldness and an eagerness to share the gospel and to reach other people. It's so encouraging to see that, and it's because someone decided to take them under their wings to support them as a child, and they've progressed, and now they're investing their lives in other people. So you may be a sponsor who's watching, and we thank you for your sponsorship, or you might be someone who's interested in sponsoring a kid. What a great way to be involved. We have appreciated the flexibility that we've had with AMG, because in the 35 years that we've been with them, as I've mentioned, we've been in 4 different countries, and we've had opportunities to even move from those 4 different countries at times to go minister in other countries. One thing I would like to encourage those of you watching is there's a great opportunity coming up this fall in Pennsylvania and near Lancaster, a place called New Holland, Pennsylvania. AMG will be having a yearly banquet there. They've been having banquets for at least, I think, the last 50 years. And so we would encourage anyone who is interested in the northeastern part of the U.S., or maybe from Washington or Virginia up. That will be on Saturday, November the 8th at 11 a.m., and it will go to about 2 a.m. in the afternoon, and you will be able to hear firsthand some of our experiences that we've had in Thailand in the last 15 years. The food is great too. We've been there before and come with a hearty appetite. If you'd like to know more about the banquet or AMG's ministries, you can find that on the internet at www.amginternational.org. And we would love to see you at the banquet. And I know they've got a lot planned there, and it should be a great time. And so we thank you for this opportunity.
Well, as you've heard, Ron is going to be our special speaker at our annual Pennsylvania banquet. So if you are in the area, please go and meet Ron firsthand, hear from him firsthand about how God is working. Well, that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you next week at This Week at AMG.